Hi, hello, and welcome back, y'all, to another reaction video. So we're about to watch this video, 15 scariest WWE wrestlers of all time. Now, we know Kane, we know Boogeyman, we know Undertaker, but I've never really gotten into other creepy, scary, dark wrestlers. So I'm pretty sure that this video is gonna put me on to more, or maybe some that I've forgotten that I did not mention just now. But yeah, without further ado, y'all, we're just gonna hop straight into this video. So let's watch right now.
Have you ever wondered how anybody can handle being hit with a chair or survive being kneed to the face or being body slammed from mid-air? Or how in the wild world of wrestling, strong fighters are able to throw each other around with effortless maniacal joy and flair?
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, Andre was on.
From the Boogeyman to Viscera, here are the 15 scariest WWE wrestlers of all time. Number 15, Boogeyman. The haunt of dreams, the red-faced demon of horror that always knows how to put fear, haunt, and hesitation into the heart of man. The wrestler who made children afraid to turn on their television. With a clock that's always ticking, a crazy smile, and with what little teeth remain, this renegade would speak with his mental asylum slogan, "The Boogeyman is coming to get ya."
I'm the Boogeyman, and I'm coming to get ya.
Really causes everyone to be queasy and uncomfortable in his presence.
Ew.
Talk about ominous. There's no way I'd want the Boogeyman chasing after me. A battle often won before a fight, this crazy man always instills and inspires unsavory disaster for his opponents and leaves the audience bereft of expectations, never knowing what to expect, other than a lot of unpredictable, creepy actions. The Boogeyman has a history of appearing in unexpected places. Would you want to shake hands with the Boogeyman? Make sure to check under your bed and in the cupboard, or else you may find the clocks ticking for you to be taken down by the Boogeyman and his creepy silver spoon. Before we go on, like this video, smash the subscribe button and click the notification bell right now, or this centipede will crawl on your face when you're sleeping. Number 14. Viscera. This is the 500-pound, 226 kilograms, 6 foot and a half, 199.4 centimeter giant. Viscera was the Goliath of the wrestling ring and had no qualms about running through any obstacles in his way, be they man or man-made. Arriving on the scene in 1993, Viscera caused his enemies to face the brick wall of his imposing size and skill like an unstoppable force.
Oh, wow.
He would charge his prey down with fierce intent for destruction. Would you stand in front of a charging bull? I wouldn't tempt this charging, mindless monster, or you may find yourself in pieces strewn across the floor. They say the bigger you are, the harder you fall. But if your opponent never falls, and then not only that, but picks you up like a rag doll and sends you into a state of permanent disarray, then what do? If it doesn't kill you, it'll make you stronger. But if it kills you, well, if you ask me, I would run like the wind. That is the only logical decision when faced with certain doom. Number 13,
I need to see who has been
Undertaker.
If he's ever been.
The Undertaker is a man who resembles death outside and inside the ring, with creepy undertones of death and carnage, possession and darkness. Do you think you could resist the Undertaker's sinister sentiments? This is a man who dances with the darkness, living in darkness. His only time in the light was bringing pain and misery on his enemies in the ring, causing the audience, fans, and wrestlers to shiver and sweat with fear.
Ooh.
His character is one nobody else could take up the mantle and
God.
undertake, for his motives are unknown other than to say that taking life and putting a stop to all who were foolish enough to cross his path would be something that the Undertaker would relish and thrive on. His presence on the battlefield is one of tension and grave intentions, demoralizing all his enemies with sinister and shadowy mystery.
Into the cage just to get away from the Undertaker. Paul Bear locked himself inside the cage.
A past life of collections and boxing, coming to the wrestling ring was a natural fit that makes him a truly terrifying man to behold and face. A dangerous man, even without the name The Undertaker. Number 12. Kane. A terrifying monster on the battlefield, Kane is a destructive force to behold, standing at up to 7 feet in height. With the sentiment of a man fueled by dark desires and an uncontrollable temperament, disaster comes. With a fearsome presence that makes less imposing men quiver and quake. Should anyone be foolish enough to fight a man filled with such rage and darkness, it would surely be their own perilous demise. Kane leaves a scorched trail of destruction in his wake wherever his footsteps take him, with a desire, passion, and fury to set the hearts of all those around him ablaze. Would you dance with the rage and darkness of the fearsome Kane of creation? Involved in numerous feuds and all-out battle royales, Kane teamed up with some of the biggest, hardest-hitting players in the wrestling game and went up against the toughest and meanest opponents. Able to handle himself on his own outside and inside the ring, Kane fed the darkness with his service with the savagery of a man cursed with mindless anger, pouring destruction on any unfortunate victim who got in his way. Number 11. Gangrel. Gangrel, the half-man, half-blood sucking vampire. This behemoth of destruction would drink blood from a goblet and spit it out with his shining white shirt stained in the gory attire that was his namesake. Grimly alluding to his supernatural prowess, this fearsome character was definitely an advocate for the darkness and shadows. With fangs bared, he would pounce on his enemies, bring them to their knees, and have them beg for mercy. He fought with the greats of his time and with a supernatural physique. Does getting bitten by the vampire Gangrel sound like something you would want to entertain?
Perhaps a little foreshadowing for down the line, but nonetheless, folks, Braden Scott, Gino.
If I were you, I would run in the other direction with absolutely no second thought, as the second he got a scent of your fear and trembling, he would be upon you like the nightmare that haunts dreams sooner than you can even imagine.
No.
Teaming up with
Uncle
some
Vampire.
big wrestling names and forming the Brood, they joined the Ministry of Darkness. Then, later, fighting one of the most powerful groups in wrestling, the Brood fought the Hardy Boys with climactic results.
Oh, wow.
Number 10. Papa Shango. With a creepy, haunting voodoo magic background and talent, the icon, Papa Shango, had "Cross me at your own detriment" written all over him. With a skull in hand that smoked from the inside, enchanting those that were there to see his mesmerizing enchantments, a face ghostly white, drained of natural color, and a necklace of bones, this strangely creepy superstar's haunting appearance, a 330-pound hulking figure, Big Papa Shango was a villain you wouldn't want to mess with.
Papa Shango's curse is on everyone.
He was able to control arena lights, which led to strange goings-on in the ring, and would even cast spells and curses to cause opponents pain and make them vomit from a distance. A character that really shined in the dark, he was able to create effects that made other figures question their own sanity for being in the ring. Papa Shango was not the kind of demon you wanted to come across, regardless of the circumstances. Using black magic to intimidate, Shango infamously caused a strange dark liquid to ooze from his enemies. The witch doctor Papa Shango is a truly fearsome wrestler indeed. Number 9. Relic. Not much is known about this mysterious relic of the past. However, what is known is that relic is the term killer backwards, the play on words leaving a striking image in the minds of his enemies. On a murderous and unsavory journey, and with the sanity of a ravenous, mindless murderer, Relic the Killer was destined to incite chaos and fear into the hearts and minds of his enemies. How long do you think you would last standing next to the serial killer of a wrestling maniac? This horror of unknown has been seen to be covering up what appears to be blood from the scene of a murder and wearing a mask with red and black and piercing eyes that shone through the masquerade that hides dark motives. This fearsome creature plagued by the unknown brought fear and havoc to the ring. Not notable for getting along with others due to the state of his psychotic rampages in the ring, he was a fearsome and imposing force of demonic escapades. One really has to question the sanity of anybody willing to go toe-to-toe with the one and only mindless Relic. Number 8. Paul Bearer. A mortician by trade, this fearsome manager handled some of the scariest names out there. With fear as a currency,
oh yes, Mr. McMahon!
He is remembered as the unsettling caretaker of intimidating superstars like The Undertaker, Kane, and Mankind. All wrestlers attuned to darkness and evil ambitions. Paul Bearer was pale-faced and dressed in a dour black suit. The grim-looking Paul Bearer was about as pleasant as stomach pain, which made him a perfect fit for his role as the eerie spokesman for the demon from Death Valley. Always found in the strangest of places, his sinister glare would cause an unsettling, unsavory, and uncomfortable feeling in the stomachs of his enemies and captivated audience. Promoting his minions with an uncanny skill, he would send forth his army to conquer with eerie mystique, calling on powers that are unearthly and unnatural to bend the will of others in his conquest to dominate the wrestling world in darkness and obsession. It seemed to be the case that if you were controlled by Paul Bearer, you were a slave to darkness, and if you were not, you were doomed to the destructive forces wrought by the darkness. Number 7. Abdullah the Butcher. At 183 centimeters, 163 kilograms, this evil Arabian sadist had cuts all over his scalp and head due to his use of excessive blading during his career. It's been said that you can put gambling chips into the crevices of his cuts because they're so deep. Abdullah's knowledge of judo and karate was instrumental in his professional wrestling career.
He slipped the object to Abdullah.
Oh, that just
But it happened when we saw the tape later, I saw it.
His skills in combat with raw power. He was known as a rule breaker, using chairs and gimmicks to genuinely knock opponents out. This monster was known to cause mayhem in his wrestlers' lives inside and outside the ring, causing him to be a name that was not only feared, but at times despised and condemned. They say all press is good
he's
press,
scary
but
for real.
this madman with his blades in hand was a creature that made the flesh of man tear apart in a bloody and disgusting fashion, due to his character and nature, leaving scars and permanent repercussions for his friends and foes alike, depending on his mood. What crazy person would want to wrestle Abdullah the Butcher? Number 6. Kevin Sullivan. Kevin Sullivan, a man truly possessed by the dark forces in the world,
Took me to the 7th step. On the 7th veil, he told me.
began as a brawler and later evolved into the man who went to characterize the sinister intent of life and embodied the moral implications so dark that it would need a great deal of healing to unravel the pain and misery brought down upon all who witnessed this malicious creature. This is the manic poet on a charismatic campaign to end the sanity of those fighting in a good name. With behavior that embodied a man enthralled and in the throes of insanity, Kevin Sullivan was a name that many did not want to know. But for wrestling fans, he was a draw card of doom.
Over there, you've done nothing for this company.
The depraved leader of the Army of Darkness made his bizarre campaign to bring down the big names in wrestling. A truly dark character, Kevin surrounded himself with an evil group of misfits. He walked in wickedness with every step all the way to the end of his career as a wrestler. A bitter end with horror emanating from each and every step. Number 5. Jeff Hardy. A champion without the need for gimmicks and excuses, the soaring eagle of the wild wrestling ring, falling from heights of up to a terrifying 20-foot high that most would think thrice over to bring absolute destruction upon his enemies and often himself.
I mentioned Swanton. Oh man, I used to watch you when you were cool.
With a move he has perfected over the course of his 20-plus year career, the Swanton Bomb. This aerobic extremist brought all of the incredible finishers in wrestling to shame. His antics caused fear and excitement in the hearts of fans and wrestlers alike. When you think of why you would want to watch a wrestling match, Jeff Hardy is the definition of the exemplification of a titan, a skilled, agile, and powerful wrestler.
Yeah, because I'm thinking like, okay, I've never found Jeff Hardy scary or creepy or anything like that, but his moves, definitely, you don't want to be on the receiving end to, I don't know how much he weighs, but you don't want to be on the receiving end of him dropping down on your neck. Like, that is very scary. So yeah, I can see why he would be on this list. Only because like how he could do you, how he could treat you, but just him as a person, I don't find him like scary, but definitely his fighting is scary.
Do you think you could go one-on-one with this professional athlete? Jeff Hardy was a revolutionary wrestler with experience from countless matches, solo or with his brother Matt and his crew, the Hardy Boys. Reaching heights that other wrestlers could only dream of due to his skill as a wrestler rather than relying on antics, his fearless combinations earned him respect and renown in the wrestling world. It's not hard to see why Jeff Hardy was a name that will be remembered and feared throughout wrestling history. Number 4. The Snake Roberts. The Snake Roberts was a man who fully embraced the dark side of the wrestling business and ethically compromised morality.
The Snake Roberts!
Who's gonna be number 1?
Enacting and embodying contentious subjects with vigor, enthusiasm, and showmanship, he stunned those around him with genuine fear, trapping his opponents in rooms with snakes and locking the door behind them, or putting snakes on opponents that were knocked out for a time in the ring. Is this the sort of enemy you would want to face? The Snake Roberts had a complicated ideology and artistic expressionism. This snake charmer wooed the hearts of snakes into the destruction of his enemies, training them to obey him and to attack enemies. His earlier escapades left him with an image that scarred and scared the hearts of fans and wrestlers with demonic and evil theatrics.
Just more fuel for the fire for the TNT.
To see his return from the darkness, he later seemed to recover from his obsession with evil. What a momentous tale that was. Like a villain turned into a hero, ready to strike again with fangs at the ready, he continued to dominate after his return for some time, still inspiring just as much fear with an easy smile and a light heart. Number 3. Ox Baker. The big and strong, heavy-hitting Ox Baker, a champ that can bring all the pain with his famous move, the Heart Punch, which he called the Hurt Punch.
Just a second, I have a few things to say here.
With great vigor, he would say, "I love to hurt people," with an imposing 196 centimeters in height and the beard of a real man. Ox Baker was a warrior in the ring that didn't want to make friends with anybody. The name of the game was to bring the pain to anyone who thought they could handle a champ. Not mucking around with gimmicks and fancy acts of bravado, Ox Baker would go toe-to-toe with anyone who thought they had a chance. A fearless man that inspired fear with brute strength and raw power. Claimed to have ended lives in this ring. Do you think you would have the strength to take down Ox Baker? Many claimed to, but many fell short against the mighty Ox Baker, a rhino in the ring with a punch that hurt like a scorpion sting. Number 2. Doink the Clown. Nobody likes clowns, especially athletic and destructive wrestling clowns. I would say the moment you mess with Doink the Clown, the joke's on you. They have creepy masks, appear in creepy shows,
Scott Hall had a substance abuse problem. Right.
and just outright terrify most people out of sheer nostalgia. Doink the Clown was a malicious character who would trick children and squirt them and make them cry with joyful and malicious laughter. His eyes would light up at the misery at the effect that these actions would incite. A man or clown on a mission to cause mayhem and chaos in the wrestling ring, he would attack opponents with fake clown limbs, water pistols in the eyes, and all the other utensils that a typical clown would, to distract and debilitate his enemies before finishing them with uncanny supernatural skill. The point of difference to other clowns, however, was the monster behind the mask who truly enjoyed causing tyranny throughout the wrestling community and the show-stopping wrestling moves that would end in him laughing while his opponents would be sorely out for the count. Number 1. Andre the Giant. The noble-hearted, immovable giant at an insanely tall 7 foot 4 inches or 224 centimeters and weighing a gargantuan jaw-dropping 520 pounds or 236 kilograms.
Oh. He looked like he would eat you.
Proven to be larger than life, this brilliantly terrifying behemoth of a man was the Goliath that the other Goliath feared to fight. More powerful than even his own mortal frame could handle. He was a gentle and quiet man outside the ring, but drew the crowd with his power and towering structure. He took no nonsense when it came to dominating the big names in the wrestling world. With the heart of a champion and with a fearsome and humble nature, when awoken, he was the things fears are built from, and his rage would send enemies buckling in fear and misery. How do you think you would fare running into Andre the Giant? I'm sorry to say, but trying to take down Andre the Giant, you'll probably just hurt yourself more in the process. What did you think of our 15 scariest?
I think it was backwards. That's what I think. I think you put the most scariest first in the beginning of the video, and then you just named off a bunch of randoms. Anyways, I just realized something. Where's the Fiend? Where's Sting? Like, the Fiend could have easily replaced fucking what is his name? The Clown Man? He could have easily replaced him. Like Doink, whatever the fuck. Like, come on, son. We got Doink the Clown on here. And like going back to Jeff Hardy, like Jeff Hardy could have been replaced by one of the two people that I mentioned. Like I said before, he's not scary. His moves are brutal. You know, you don't want to be on the receiving end to that, but I wouldn't say that he's scary. Two people could have easily been replaced. It just looked like a bunch of uncles on this list. And you put all the good ones first. But yeah, that's gonna do for this reaction. Leave some comments down below. Let me know what you guys think. And I will see y'all later. Bye.